Hi, everybody. Thank you very much for joining this afternoon. We're just going to give it a couple of minutes to allow everybody to load up on the Zoom call. If you can just bear with me for a couple of minutes and then we'll get cracking. Right, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much for sparing some time to join Sarah, Danielle, Wayne and myself for this lunch and learn. So I hope you've got time to grab yourself a coffee and a sandwich while we're going through today's agenda. And I'm hoping you'll all find it useful. Danielle, do you want to just move on one? So these are the people on the call this lunchtime. Just for those who don't know me, just to introduce myself, I'm Bill Gabriel, and I'm a member of the People Development and Midlands Regional groups. And I've recently finished full-time employment. I'm a mechanical engineer by trade and health and safety specialist that has worked for quite a number of years in the property and FM community. So my intention is to work with Wayne, Sarah and others, and we're arranging as many hopefully useful events as we can for you with the CIWFM team. What we're going to do today, initially, before we get going on the main agenda item, it's a really good opportunity to introduce to really important people who volunteer and put in a lot of time to run the two groups that I mentioned earlier. And I think it'd be a good chance to introduce them and let them tell you a little bit about the groups that hopefully you might get some value out of going forward. So if it's okay, we'll start with you, Wayne, if you can, please.
Yeah, thank you, Bill. Thank you, everybody, for joining this afternoon. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to the agenda today. So, as Bill said, it's a really good opportunity to just briefly touch on who People Development SIG is. We are a very committed committee in delivering our focus, which is the development of a career in FM. So we're doing that over a couple of ways. So we're looking at around our engagement in our community, so working with people like the Midlands Region and other specialist interest groups and committees around looking at how we can develop people's career in FM. So for example, we're working with the veterans community to see how we can work to create better experiences for people and development of their career on service leavers, but also looking at how we can work with like the risings and looking at how we can develop somebody starting a career in FM and how that develops throughout their period of time. So our focus is around kind of that element, but also within the wider element of the industry as well. So what we can do to work with external bodies, i.e. government bodies and other organisations to take career as a career of choice in FM as well. So we've started to do a bit of work around the skills gap that we're all very much aware of. You will see a lot more of what we are doing throughout this year. Coming up, we do have our AGM, and please keep an eye out for that. And likewise, if you are interested in understanding a little bit more about what we do and what we're doing, you can find us on the below QR codes. So yeah, thank you for joining today. Thank you for listening for my very brief introduction to the People Development SIG is. And I'll pass over to Sarah to touch on what the Midlands region's up to.
Thanks, just unmute myself there. It's a useful start. Thanks very much, Wayne. Hi, everyone. I'm Sarah Awkward. I am the chair for the Midlands region. We obviously, as the slide quite concisely details, we operate throughout the Midlands region. Obviously, that's far and wide reaching. And we've recently built our team. We've got a new and developing team. It was down to a very small committee team sort of mid last year. So we've done a recruitment drive, and Bill, who's on this call and leading this call, will be is a key and active new member of the Region 6, which was very valuable for us. We have got probably the most active year on schedule for this year, for 2025. It's probably going to be the most, as I say, the most prominent year for us in terms of events. This being our first event in collaboration with the People Development SIG, with Wayne and his team, as well as Danielle at HQ. Our next upcoming event that we've kind of got penciled into the calendar will be March. It will be towards the end of March. So we're doing a lot of planning for our events at the moment. So January, February, we're doing a lot of planning. And yeah, so keep your eyes peeled. What I would say is just scan the QR code. There's obviously finding more out about the region, which will detail a little bit about myself and the rest of the committee members. But also the LinkedIn QR code is really useful as well, because we have a Midlands group on LinkedIn, and we do a lot of we share a lot of our events and what's going on in the Midlands region on there. So keep your eyes peeled on LinkedIn. Please feel free to add myself, add Bill on LinkedIn, because we promote a lot from our own personal LinkedIn accounts, but link in with our Midlands region on LinkedIn as well. So that's just us in a nutshell. Thanks very much. Yes, so volunteering with CIWFM, although I mentioned that the Midlands region has started to build in terms of our committee members, we're always open and willing to bring in new volunteers to our committee. So if you're really passionate about FM and advancing the profession, and you're within the Midlands region, either work or live in the Midlands region, we really want to hear about you. In a similar respect, I know that Wayne is recruiting for the People Development SIG as well. So generally committee members, there's also different kind of roles specifically that you can play within the Midlands region and the People Development SIG. But really, we're just interested in anybody who's passionate and really willing to put on and join in and putting on and hosting events. So I know a lot of people will probably be very passionate about the FM industry, but you know, if you are thinking about volunteering, why should you volunteer? What is in it for you? And there is a lot in it for you, and you do have to put in a certain amount of time each week, or overall a month, really spread over a month, to volunteering with either a region or a SIG. But in essence, you do get a lot back. So you put a lot in, but it's more about giving back to the industry and advancing the profession. So for me, that's a lot of why I wanted to join, is I wanted to sort of spread the word and spread the love over, why join the FM profession? It's kind of almost like a hidden industry, isn't it? So it's about giving something back to the industry, advancing the profession and the professional institute, so CIWFM obviously. However, there are also benefits personally and professionally to yourself. So it will help build your confidence, it will help you develop skills such as public speaking, events organising. It will also help you to develop your professional network and enhance your professional profile as well. Most importantly, it will provide you with a greater sense of purpose, of giving back to the industry and enhancing the profession. I think I've repeated myself a lot, but you get the picture. So if you are interested, feel free to check out more opportunities through our IWFM website on volunteering section. You can also email the community's email address there at the bottom. Or, like I said earlier, you can add myself, Bill, and Will. Sorry, not Will. Wayne. Sorry, I'm getting you confused with the singer, aren't I, Will Young? Or you can add Wayne on LinkedIn, and you can also DM us on LinkedIn as well, and ask us some questions if you're interested in joining us. Thanks very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So on to the main event for the lunchtime. So Danielle is going to run us through the background and the new Experiential Route membership. First thing I'd like to say, I think ahead of that, is I certainly know a lot of people who can benefit from this. So there's lots of people out in the industry who have got a fantastic experience and set of competencies, but for them, doing formal qualifications isn't the thing for all sorts of reasons. So, here is a fantastic initiative now that gives a lot of people, and I'm hoping some of the people on the call today, the opportunity to get really recognised in terms of certified membership of IWFM and all the benefits and actually recognition of your skills that brings. So, Danielle, over to you. Thank you.
Thanks, Bill. And thanks everyone for joining today. It's great to be able to speak with you all and take you through this new route. It's very exciting for IWFM. As Bill said, we know we've got a lot of people that can benefit from this, so it's great to be able to walk you through it today. So what we're going to be talking about is the new Experiential Route to Certified Grade of Membership. And as Bill's alluded to, this is a new route that is going to allow people to be assessed based on their competencies. So based on that experience, without that need for a formal qualification. As we know previously, the certified grade, the access route into that was a level 6 diploma or above, or chartered status with another professional body. And as Bill has said, a lot of people have said to us, and we've listened to that feedback of, we've already done the skills, we've got the experience, we don't need to now do a qualification, but we still want to be able to be recognised for that level that we're working to. So I'm going to take you through the professional standards just to start off with, because this is really key to understanding the new route, because the new route, as with everything with IWFM, is built on our professional standards. So the professional standards wheel you can see here is actually available on the website, and it's interactive on the website. So if you haven't already, I would definitely encourage you to go on and have a look at it, because you can play about with it a bit more and get more information out of it. But what this does is it's allowing people to see the competencies that are required for someone working in FM. This is the competencies that we're looking at in terms of what you need to know if you're working within this sector. It allows employers to benchmark their skills and their employee skills and actually know where the strong points are, but also where they need to look at development points for their staff as well. And so everything that we do is sort of based on this. So all our membership grades, our qualifications training is all based on our professional standards. So it's definitely worth having a look at. There is a QR code on the screen, so if you haven't looked at it before, definitely encourage that now. And like I said, the new route that we've based this on, the assessment, is based on these competencies. So before you go into the assessment, it's definitely well worth having a look at these. And to take you through our membership grades and to sort of give you that context around this new grade, we have our professional pathway here. So this is the route people would be taking potentially, or their experience to working up to certified grade. So we have people who are new to the profession. They may come into us as an affiliate grade. That's sort of our entry level grade, and people who want the access to our services but may not have the experience yet. Then we move up to our associate grade. So these are people that may have a few years experience. They're working in a support and supervisory role. They may have also done a level 2 or 3 qualification. So the numbers that you see on that pathway there are equivalent to the qualification levels for those grades. But these sort of people would then start to look to become in the managerial level. So that's where the pathway then starts to lead them. And we can see that as we move up to our member grade. So our member grade, these people are in a managerial position. They have at least 5 years experience and 2 or 3 years managerial experience in managing a team, may have also done a level 4 to 5 qualification. So these are the steps sort of leading up to our certified grade. And as we know, our certified grade previously was a level 6 qualification or above. These people are senior within the profession, so they are strategic people maybe working as heads of, directors, that kind of thing. But this is the whole purpose of this, is creating this access point now, because we did see a stop at member grade because people just didn't have that qualification. So we've opened this up now so people can go all the way through our professional pathway. And then lastly, we do have fellow grade. So fellow grade is our most prestigious grade. This is a grade that you can achieve by having very extensive experience within the profession and being able to show some significant contribution to the profession as well. So just taking you through why we've created the new route. I know we've touched on it already, but this route has been a long time in the making. So 2 years we've been developing this, and this has been developed and trialled with certain government bodies to make sure that it was fit for purpose. It delivered what we wanted it to deliver, but also was accessible for people who wanted to go through the programme. I think it's really important to understand that certified status is very prestigious in itself as well, and people should be working towards that. And we needed the assessment process to be able to reflect that these are senior and strategic people, and they should be working at a level 6 diploma level, maybe not having achieved it, but are working at that level. So this is where we've come to with this process. So we listened to that feedback from people to say that they couldn't achieve the certified without that level 6. They wanted us to open that doorway for them. And then we developed that alongside those governing bodies to make sure that it was fit for purpose. So we've now got to this point. So we launched it September last year. So it is now accessible to everyone. And so what I'll be taking you through is the actual process that you will go through if you choose to go down this route, what it entails, and just things like the timelines on it and things like that. But firstly, before I get into that, I've jumped ahead. But what does it mean to achieve the certified status? So it is a really recognisable badge of professionalism, basically. So it shows that you're working at that level in terms of FM. It's signifying to people in your company, but also externally within other FM companies, that you have that competence level, you've got specialised skills, and that you've been awarded by CIWFM to recognise that level of skills that you're working at. So it is really highly recognised within the FM profession. And just before we get into the process itself, this is just a quote from someone that's actually gone through the process previously. So it's really good to sort of reflect actually someone who's gone through it has achieved it and what it means to them. So Martin Davey has written, Taking the experiential route to IWFM certified grade was perfect for me, as it gave me the opportunity to reflect back on my career and to pull out key areas of my role and responsibilities within FM over a 25-year career, in order to demonstrate in real life terms my experience of working in a complex organisation such as the Ministry of Justice. Gaining the certified grade was a big milestone for me in my professional development, and it has enabled me to apply and achieve my new promotion within the organisation. So a really great success story there, and it just shows that people really want this. They want to be able to demonstrate those that experience that they've got and get that certified status. So now I'm actually going to take you through the assessment process, as promised. So just firstly looking at who should apply. So people who should apply are people in senior or strategic positions within their FM company. So people who may be setting the actual strategy and are responsible for delivering that strategy. But people who are planning courses of action, how to actually deliver that, operational changes and developments, people who are accountable for other people within the company as well. So developing their own teams, working with them to work on their professional development, but also taking accountable for the delivery of that FM strategy. People should also have experience across all of the IWFM professional standards. That's why that wheel is very important that I showed you at the beginning. So just having knowledge around all of those areas is quite key for you to be able to apply for this role. So in terms of the assessment itself, it is split into two parts. So we have part one, and part one is the kind of written format, if you like. So there are 4 tasks that sit under part one, and they ask very specific things, basically. So task one within part one, it's a bit of a tongue twister there. But that is for you to actually supply evidence. So you'd be actually asked to supply things like workplace documents, things that you've actually produced as part of your day-to-day. Just to highlight here, you can redact information on this, because we do understand that some people have sensitive roles where they can't actually supply all the information. So information can be redacted. We've worked with government bodies before, so that can happen. Then task 2 is asking you to actually write a narrative to contextualize that part of task 1. So the evidence that you've supplied as part of task 1, you'd be asked to sort of give some context behind it and write a narrative around what you've done and how you've done it. Then task 3, and this is probably the part that is maybe the trickiest, I'd say, for some people, and we do offer the assessors are very good at offering support around this, but is asking you to write a critical evaluation or a critical analysis around your knowledge, skills, and experience. So it's taking that step back and reflecting and actually writing that critical evaluation around those areas. And then task 4 is to write a narrative demonstrating your knowledge, skills, and experience within some of the wider workplace and FM functions. On tasks 3 and 4, you can actually supply some evidence to support your statements as well. And what I would say on this is the assessors are very good at sort of helping people through this process. So they will allow you to resubmit on this twice. So if you've kind of done stuff and they're sort of seeing that you're heading in the right direction, but you may have just missed a couple of points, or they just want you to elaborate, they will come back to you and just say, can you resubmit and make sure that you're covering these points? So they're very good at trying to support people through the process as well. So once you get past task part 1, you go into part 2, which is the professional discussion. So the professional discussion is with an assessor via Teams. It's an hour-long session, and it's a conversation. So they ask you to elaborate on some of the topics that you can see on screen there. They will also maybe ask you some questions based on your written evidence that you've provided in part 1, and they will just trying to get you to elaborate on some of these areas and your previous experience around some of them. So they will host that via Teams, and it gives you an opportunity as well just to demonstrate all of that, what you can't maybe fit into the written evidence. So it's a really great way to sort of elaborate on some of those areas. So terms of timeframes for an assessment. So you're given 12 months to complete this assessment, because we understand that some of it is quite in depth, and we have had people that have passed quite quickly on this because they've got all the information to hand, but we also want to allow people to have that sort of time frame to be able to do it and provide all the information. In terms of once you start the assessment and you've submitted information, these are the timeframes you can expect. So your initial assessment, so part 1, can take up to 21 days. So the assessor will review all that information. They'll come back to you. They will tell you whether you've passed that first part or if that you need to resubmit anything on that first part. If you do need to resubmit anything, that could take up to 10 days for the assessor just to reassess and provide feedback on. Then when you get to your professional discussion, you just need to allow 7 working days before booking that professional discussion. This is just so you can prep for it, because we appreciate there's still work that goes into that. And it also allows the assessor to prep for it as well. And then once you've done your professional discussion, you'll be notified within 5 working days if you've been successful following that professional discussion. And you'll get contact from one of our member and customer engagement team to invite you to upgrade to certified if you've been successful. And then just some sort of quick facts around the assessment and the kind of maybe operational parts of it. So the payment, so you just pay for the assessment up front. So it's done differently maybe to how, if you've been a member of ours previously, you normally pay for your assessment and your subscription fees together. But in this instance, because you've got a longer time frame to complete this assessment, we are just asking for the assessment fee up front. So the cost of the scheme is £592, and the subscription fee for certified is payable on completion of your assessment. So you can make payment via invoice, credit, debit card, or monthly direct debit for the assessment fee. All you need to do is just get in contact with the team. So we've got an email address on there, and we have got a phone number a bit further down as well, if you are interested in the scheme and you want us to start helping you get started on the scheme. So once you've paid your assessment fee, you'll get access to our learner management system. This is where we conduct the whole assessment. So you'll receive an email to get you started, and you can log in, and the learner management system is really good at just guiding you through the assessment. You'll also have contact with your assessor through the learner management system as well. So they will be there to sort of guide you, and you'll get feedback through the learner management system. And then on the useful information, this is really just to highlight that once you've got into the LMS, you will also have FAQs to support you through the process. But on our website, we've got some really helpful information as well around this. We've got a guidance document on there. So if after the webinar you wanted to go and have a read through, it's got a bit more in-depth information around what's going to be required from you in terms of the assessment. So it's good to have a read about that before you start going through the process, just to make sure it's right for you. But then you can contact the team and they'll start getting you onto your assessment. So just to highlight, because some of you may already be members, some may not, but just to highlight the membership benefits to you. So it might just be reaffirming this to a lot of you, but the first thing is you get your post-nominal. So if you are to achieve certified status, you'll get your CIWFM post-nominals. So again, that's a massive thing for a lot of our members to be able to put that on their emails, business cards, that kind of thing, because it just shows that you've achieved that with IWFM. Your competencies have been recognised. Secondly, you'll get access to mentoring, our mentoring platform. So depending on where you are in your career, even at certified status, you may still want to be mentored by someone. You may actually want to mentor someone. So you can do both. You can be a mentor, you can be mentored. But it's just a really great way to either give back in terms of your skills and your knowledge, or to, if you've still got things that you want to develop in, to get that support through someone else as well. We've got our research and insight pages, which again, a lot of you probably may know, just hold a whole host of really helpful information, our good practice guides, facilitate magazines, our webinars. just all the things that you might need to be able to help you in your sort of day-to-day working. And we have got I've just mentioned this, but the Facilitate magazine, so that comes out bi-monthly. And if you are on a professional grade, so if you've got your certified status, you would get that hard copy through the post. Everyone gets access to it online. So, but it's a really great, helpful magazine. Lots of helpful articles in there. Then we've got our networking and events. So I know that Sarah and Wayne and Bill have kind of talked through this a bit at the beginning, but again, just really underlining the importance of this. Our volunteers do an amazing job in terms of hosting these events every year. And if I'm honest, during COVID, this is probably the main thing that members missed from us because we couldn't do it. And it just shows how vital it is for people with their professional development to actually get together with people, like-minded people with either in their regions or in their sectors, to be able to thought share and to be able to have those really, key conversations to help them. So definitely keep an eye on the events pages on the website for those. Then we've got our CPD tool. So to be honest, this is probably one of my other favourite benefits. But I think we all can agree when you work in such a fast-paced environment, it's really hard to keep track of sometimes your CPD. You're so busy every day, you don't actually realise that you're developing yourself. So actually having a tool there that you can just put stuff into, at the end of the year, you can actually see how far you've come. So a really great tool. If you're not already using it, I would 100% encourage you to go on and start inputting your CPD on there because it's really important to track it. We also have our qualifications and short courses. So again, some people may have already done a qualification. Some people are maybe not thinking about it, but definitely it's definitely worth thinking about if you've got a team of people. So you working at a senior strategic level, you may have people you want to develop within your own teams, and it's definitely worth having a look at those for your team. And the short courses as well, they, again, if you're looking at that professional standards wheel for your team and you're thinking there's areas that you may need them to develop in, there will be a short course that can support them with that. And then the community groups forum, again, this is so massively important. So all our community groups have a forum where you can go on, you can discuss important things, you can document share, you can ask questions. So again, it's just getting that support from people either within your region or within your sector, just to be able to get some support from like-minded individuals. So one other thing you'd get access to if you were to become certified status is you'd get access to our strategic leaders forum. So this is another community group that we've got, but it's quite new and it's something we've created sort of following the launch of the Experiential Route. And it's a new network for people who are working at that strategic level to be able to join and again network, create opportunities within themselves, and to also just support IWFM back as well. So we will engage with people within that group around some policy development and things like that. So it's again a really great sort of key benefit if you are to become certified status. So just on here, we've got a QR code. So if you're still kind of sitting there and wondering if it is right for you, there is a QR code there that you can go on, and it is on our website. It's a short assessment tool. You just put a few details in and it will tell you what grade you're eligible for and if you would be eligible for this route, if you just want that sort of clarification, and then you can get in contact with our team and we'll be able to support you with that. And just an example here, so again, just if you're thinking about some of the upcoming things that we've got going on in terms of the membership, we've got some upcoming courses. So these might be eligible for your teams if you're managing teams of people. So again, just really encourage people to go on and have a look on the website and see what's upcoming and what can support them in terms of either their development or their team's development. And again, just some upcoming events. So we've got some other community events that are going on at the moment. So you can, there's a QR code on the screen now that you can see that will take you straight back to the website where you can look at events. But like I said, all the regions and SIGs are great at putting on these events, and they'll be tailored to networking or to professional development. So there'll be certain topics that they'll be covering off in those events that you can join to. We also have our market outlook survey going on at the moment. So again, I would just encourage everyone just to go on and just if they can, fill that in, because it really supports IWFM in terms of being able to provide information back to the FM community. So again, there's a QR code on the screen if you are able to action that for us. And just a reminder to everyone that our sustainability report came out last year, at the end of last year. So if you haven't read it, again, a really good read. So there is also a webinar that is on the website that can help with that as well. And I think this is my last slide, and then I'll hand back to Bill, because I think you're probably all bored of my voice. But the awards are an annual event that we do every year. If you haven't been before, again, I would massively encourage it. We've got our entries open at the moment. So if you've done some really great work, or your teams have done some really great work, you can actually enter into the awards. But just overall, it's a great night for celebrating people who work in FM, the great work that goes on in FM. So it's definitely one to keep an eye on if you are interested. And I'm handing back to Bill.
Danielle, thank you very much. That was great. So certainly I've not done a lot of in-depth stuff on the actual process itself, so it's been really helpful for me. What we probably ought to look at is just a couple of things. One is there anything much in the chat that anybody would like to ask or has asked, Danielle, that you can see?
There's no questions at the moment, but the chat's
Okay.
open, so if anyone wants to put anything in there, we can answer a few questions.
Okay, so I guess while people have the chance to maybe ask the odd question there or click away, what I will say to everybody is, if you've got anything that you think about after the meeting and you want to, contact Wayne, Sarah, or myself, and best way I think, as Sarah said, is to probably pick us up on LinkedIn and send us a message. We're more than happy to help you or point you in the right direction about anything around this process. And I'm sure we'll be quite happy to give you a few hints and tips as well as to if you need a bit of advice on what's going on and any of this sort of stuff, a little bit of mini mentoring, I guess you'd call it. So that's absolutely fine. And please take advantage of that and have a good think about it, because I think it's a fantastic opportunity for a lot of people. So please give it a lot of thought. And if you're not sure about anything after that sort of quick fire lunch and learn, then please get back to the IWFM team or through myself, Wayne, or Sarah, and we'll help you as best we can, and hopefully try and get you in a position where you can have a really good go at doing this. Anything come through, Daniel?
Nothing come through, no.
I can see that Andrew Butt, has got his hand up. I don't know whether participants, attendees can ask questions, come on mute.
No, they
so
can't.
Just through the chat, so.
Yeah, or the Q&A is open as well.
Yeah, I think that might be a legacy hand that was up there when we first logged on from Andrew, actually, but okay. I'm sure he can type away briefly if there's anything you want to ask Andrew. But so other than that, to say thank you very much to everybody who's taken valuable time out of your lunch break to attend today. I'm hoping that for some people on the call, it's been really helpful in sort of really making you think about whether this is really a good opportunity for you. So fingers crossed that will be the case for a number of people. And as mentioned, please don't be backwards in coming forward in asking any questions or help you need to do it. Better to ask the questions and hopefully get clarification that will allow you to go forward with it, rather than just dismiss it that you don't think you're in with a chance. Come and ask the questions first, because we might be able to let you know that actually you're underestimating your value and other things. One last chance on questions, Danielle?
Yes, we've just been asked if the video will be emailed or be made available to people. So yeah, we will make it available to people following this session. Okay. I can see someone else has also said that the chat's disabled, but if you could put any questions in the Q&A, we can answer them for you. don't know if maybe we give it a minute just to see if
Yeah.
they are able to put it in there. Oh, I don't think we've had anything else come through, but
No.
as Bill said, if there's any follow-up questions, please feel free to get in touch with the membership team or myself or anyone else on the call. We will be happy to help. So all the contact details are on the screen at the moment.
Okay. Thank you very much, everybody who's taken part. Thank you for everybody for taking the trouble to attend. And hopefully it won't be too long before we speak with you again. So thank you, everyone, and have a good rest of the day.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, everybody.